Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today I will be showing you this short, I think 50 line code. And what it does is it's an IQ test. So I coded an IQ test. And so let's start off. So if you want to download the code, just go in the GitHub link in the description. Yeah, so let's just go over this code right now. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to show you how you can download my GitHub code. So go open up Safari or Google and go to the link. So the link will be like this. This will be the link I will give you, and you just go here and you download the zip, and then you run it from your terminal or command line, as I will show you later. So let's go over the code right now. We're importing a couple of modules here. And here we have some variables. So this is going to be the time for the IQ test, and the time is in seconds. So 900 seconds, that's 15 minutes. Yeah. So now we start with an IQ of 0, and you have the right answer here that we're gonna get, and then you have their answer, so to the questions, and then you have a boolean value to see if they're finished. So here I added this because there's going to be multiple IQ tests that you can run, and so they have to specify the test name at the end, and if they don't, we give them this. So this is the main function. As you can see, I called it main, and we start with a score of 0, and we open the quiz. So so we open the first argument, the second argument that they gave us as quiz, and we read it. So with an R, we just make this bigger. You might not be able to see. So let's go to options window, zoom. Whoops, that's not zoom. Let's see. Edit, idle preferences. Let's see, make it bigger size. 14 should be good enough. Apply. Alright, this is good. So yeah, so we read the file as quiz, and then we store it in a variable called data. I could have not done this, but I decided to do so. Yeah, so we're just reading quiz. And then I did I split the file. I split the file at every occurrence of the parentheses. So if I look at the file, the IQ test here, codes Python. Where's my IQ test? Here it is. And let me just open the file. As you can see, I decided to put a parentheses and end parentheses at the end of each line or question or answer, so that I can split them. Okay, so as you can see, end of question, end of answer, end of question, end of answer, and so on and so forth. And this is the first lines. Yeah, so I decided to put that so we can split it, and then we can give it like one at a time. We're not going to give the whole thing because we're waiting for their answer. So we give them a question, we wait for their answer. We don't give them everything at a time. Yeah. And so let's continue. So for each line in data, so we're checking for each time we split the data, we're initializing finished equal false. Now we're not really gonna use the finished variable, but it's just for later updates. And here I decided to print the time, but I really shouldn't have, so I'm just gonna delete that one. So that's for further updates. I can do like if they're finished or not for further updates. So we're checking if they are finished here. We're gonna check if they're finished at 3 times to make sure that we get the so make sure that there's no delay. So we check if they're finished here, we check if they're finished here, and we check if they're finished here. And yeah, so if they are finished, we print times up, and then we return. And what this does, it just breaks out, or it exits out of the function and it's finished. So when it exits out of the function, the code is finished. Okay, so here we're checking if the index of the line is not equal to 0, because if it is equal to 0, then that means that it is the first line. That means that it is the first line. And so if it is the first line, it's not really a question. So we want to exclude that line. We want to exclude that line. Yeah, because we're gonna be waiting for an answer when there's a question. So this is not a question, so we don't want to wait for an answer. So here we're checking if the data index line. So if we're checking the data, and we're also checking the data is not equal to the last data, because the last data we can see here. Where is it? The last data here is the answers to the IQ test. Here it is. The answers to the IQ test. So we want to make sure that it is also not the last index. But I also, I also could have moved that line here. And so now we're checking if line that starts with \n_a. So what this does is we're checking if it starts with an A. And what this \n does, it's checking if there's a new line, because we can see here that there's a new line everywhere. So there's a new line here. You can see a new line here. So this line here is really this \n. This is how an enter is specified in code. So it's \n. And yeah, let's continue. So if it is the answer, we want to get, we assign answer to the index here, or we assign answer to the data. So data.index. So we're checking the answer, and I put this index here. And what this means is because it's not directly at the answer. We can see it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then here's number 10. So when it's number 10, it's number 10, and then until the end. So until the end. So here it's just going to be 5, but here it's going to be Monday. If you only put 10, it's going to take M. So it's going to be Monday here. And yeah, let's continue. So if it's not an answer, then we want to ask for an answer. So here we check again if the time is up, and then we print the line. So we print the question, and then we ask for the answer. So we wait, and then we compare the answer to the real answer. Compare their answer to the real answer. And then here we're checking if, and so this one is only for the first line, which is not a question. So it's checking again if the time is up, and we're just printing the line. But this one is only for the first one, because we can see here that this if statement is for all the others, all the others indexes that are not 0, and this one is for the first one, for the first index, or index 0. So now this IQ is not really specific. So I just got this formula. It seems okay. It's not really specific. It's not specific at all, but it just seems to give a good IQ for the score you get. So we also increment the score here, by the way. So now we print the score here with an F string. So we print the score, we print the IQ, and then we check if the score is less than 2 or equal to 2. So if it is, then we just say, oh, that's pretty bad. And if the score is greater than 2 and less than or equal to 4, we say they got an average score in yellow. And other than that, they are genius, because they got everything right, because it's only 5 questions. And then at the end, we ask them if they want to see the answers. If it's yes, we print the last row in the data. So the last row, we can see here that it is the answers. Okay, so let's run this code now. So I'm just gonna go to my terminal and cd documents, cd codes, cd cd IQ test clear, and then Python 3 IQ test.py, and then you want to specify what IQ test you want. So let's say I want test 1. I run test 1. So now it gives me test 1. So I already know the answers, so I'm not going to give them. I mean, you probably saw them already, so who cares? So I'm just going to go 9, and then here it's 5, and then here it's 8, and then here it's Monday, and then here it's like 1, 5, 6, 2, 4, 3. Oh wow, I really got that right. Okay. That was a guess. Anyways, my IQ is 150. I'm a genius, you know what I'm saying? So I don't need to see the answers. And okay, not showing the answers. And that's it. That's the code. And you can try again. You can see like let's try again, and then you're like boom 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 boom, and then you got nothing right. So yeah. And then you're like, yeah, I want to see the answers, and then they show you the answers. So that's my IQ test. So again, the code will be linked in the description. The code will be linked in the description. And if you want to support me, go check out my PayPal in the description as well. See you later.